Hello? Are we all met? Well, I certainly hope so. What is going on, my survivors? It's me, Papa the Survivor, the VTuber survivor from the future, and I am here on my birthday. And also late VTubing anniversary. So yeah, in case you didn't know, today is my birthday. But I didn't get to do an anniversary stream on the 9th like I normally would, because I think I had plans or something. Like, my brothers were still in town, so we went out and did something. But anywho, I'm combining both. It's gonna be one big celebration for maybe a couple of hours? I don't know. If it was karaoke, it would just be like an hour, but I'm gonna see how long we can go. Maybe we'll try an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. But I wanted to try something different today. So let me turn off the music. I have YouTube right here. Just playing music via Creator Mix. Shout out to them. They play total copyright-free music that you can use for streaming or whatever background music. I always use their music when I'm playing Minecraft or anything else nonchalant. So I really do like that. But let's see. First things first that I want to try is I guess just chilling and watching YouTube. That's not something I've done before. I usually just play games, but I wanted to try something different. Because I remember last time I tried this, I tried watching, I tried just loading up, what do you call it? Daily Dose of Internet, and my stream kept crashing or ending, so I don't know what that was. Anywho, let's see what I can pull up. I want to pull up something that everyone I think does, or everyone I think has watched at some point. Where is it? I'm gonna mute desktop audio first. Here it is. 180 million views. Posted 8 years ago. 8 years ago, really? And then I have cinema mode on, so this pretty much darkens everything outside of this. Alright, now let's see. Got it loaded up right here. Should I have this in full screen? Ah, there we go. Theater mode. So...
Hi, you're on a rock, floating in space.
Yeah, there we go.
Pretty
Theater
cool,
mode with
Some of it's
cinema
water.
on.
Fuck it. Actually, most of it's water. I can't even get from here to there without buying a boat. It's sad. I'm sad. I miss you. How did this happen? A long time ago. Actually, never.
Oh yeah, I'm
Also
gonna need to
now,
stay on
nothing is
this.
nowhere.
Alright. Wow, it really starts off fast. Jeez, Bill Ward's History of the World, I guess, is the first video. Dang it, I'm already pausing it. So let's see. Oh my god, he chaptered it? Origin of the World. So, let me back up first. Oh yeah, okay, so actually, no. So this is just the world at present.
How did this happen?
Alright, here we go.
A long time ago. Actually, never. And also now. Nothing is nowhere. When? Never. Makes sense, right? Like I said, it didn't happen. Nothing was never anywhere. That's why it's been everywhere. It's been so everywhere, you don't need a where.
You don't even need a when.
That's how
every
every
it gets. Hold on, I actually want to center the screen. There we go, right here. Perfect.
Forget this.
I
I wanna be
forgot.
something.
I
Go
forgot. It's just a
somewhere. Do
white
something.
screen for like
I
a
want
good
things
few
to
seconds.
change. I want to invent time and space, and I know it's possible because everything is here, and it probably already happened. I just don't know when to start. And that's exactly where it started. Oh, I paused it. I think there's a universe now. What's it made of? Quarks and stuff. Ah,
Let
that's
me
a
lower
thing.
the
In a
audio.
place. Don't like it? Try a new place. At a different time. Try to stick together because the world is going to get bigger and emptier. But it's not empty yet.
Oh,
It's
the
still
Big
very
Bang.
full and about a jillion
That's what
degrees.
happened.
Great news. The quarks are now happily married in groups of 3.
Yeah,
A proton and a
quarks!
neutron.
Protons,
Something else flying
neutrons,
around too.
and then
It wants to join
electrons,
in, but gravity is
atoms.
still too- Great news. The protons.
So this is okay. So this isn't just history. This is also science. So basically, the universe happened with the Big Bang, and everything is forming like the first atoms, and the atoms are forming elements
Electrons are now happily
like
married to each
hydrogen
other. Some of them even doubled up.
and helium.
Great news. The electrons have now joined in. Congratulations. The world is now a bunch of gas in space. But it's getting closer together. And it's getting closer together. And it's getting closer together. It's a star.
And the birth of the sun.
Shit just got made.
And new
stars
elements.
Burn out and die. Bigger stars burn out and die with passion and make some brand new, way crazier shit. Which allows newer, more interesting stars to be made and then die and explode.
Oh yeah.
So now
See, I
stars have
took
cool stuff around, like rocks,
astronomy
ice, and funny clouds, which can make some very interesting
back when I
things.
was in community
Like this wild
college,
flaming rocks,
and
for example.
actually no,
Holy shit, we just got
the
hit
class
by
was
another
called
wall of
Life in the
flaming rocks,
Universe, and it
kinda-
counted as an
nice,
astronomy course, which I
fun.
needed. Or no, I needed a science
It's raining
course,
rocks
but I
from
wanted to
space.
take
Weather
astronomy.
update, those rocks might have had water inside them, and now there's hot steam in the sky. Weather update: cooler temperatures today, and the floor is no longer lava. Weather update: it's raining.
You know what, I'm just not gonna pause this. I'm just gonna let it go and then talk about whatever pops up.
What?
Something's alive in the ocean.
Oh, cool, like a plant or an animal? No, a microscopic speck. It lives at the bottom of the ocean and eats chemical soup, which is being served hot and fresh, made from gnarly
Ooh,
space
delicious.
ingredients left over from
Gnarly
when it was around
space
rocks or whatever.
space
Oh, yeah,
ingredients.
It can do that. It has secret instructions written inside itself telling it how to build another one of itself. So that's
Single-celled
pretty much it. Tired of
organisms
living at the bottom of the ocean?
consuming gas in the ocean.
Using a revolutionary technique, you can convert sunlight into food. Side effect, now there's oxygen everywhere and the sky's blue.
Oh yeah, hold on.
Then
Let
the
me.
Earth might have been a
I had to
storm,
lower the
maybe
volume on my
even a couple of
speakers
times. It's a sponge. It's a plant.
because apparently
It's
my
a
mic
worm
can
and
pick
some
up
other
a
types
little
of
bit more
weird,
stuff
strange
now.
water bugs and strange fish. It's the Cambrian explosion.
There we go.
That's animals and stuff. But we're still in the ocean. Hey, can we go on land? No. Why?
The sun is a deadly laser. No ozone.
Not anymore.
Now there's an ozone,
Now
but
the
it's
animals
breaking
can go
now.
on land. Come on,
Oh.
animals, let's go on land. Nope, can't walk yet. And there's no food yet, so I don't care.
That's what I reference sometimes. That's what I reference sometimes. I'm like, no. Also, there's no condition for this, so I don't care. That's what I usually do.
Up here? Maybe, said some bugs.
Maybe.
And fish.
Eh.
Okay, so I can go on land, but
I gotta get back in the water to have babies. I've seen this video plenty of
I
times.
was already doing
I was
that.
already
Use a
doing that.
stronger egg. Put water in it. Have a baby on land in an egg. Water is in the egg.
Water's in the egg. Baby in the water, in the egg, on land.
Works for me.
Bye bye, ocean.
And now everything's huge, including bugs. Want to see a map of the land? Sure. Oh fuck! Now
The
everything's dead.
Permian
Just kidding. You're the
extinction.
survivors.
I don't
Keep
remember
your
what
eye
that
on this
is.
one because it's about to become the dinosaurs.
Ooh,
This one's the
dinosaurs.
map of the land. Yeah, it broke apart. Don't worry about it. It does that all the time. Here comes a meteor. And the dinosaurs are gone. It's mammal time. Here come the mammals. Look at those breasts. Now they're gonna dominate the world, and one of them. just
Yay,
learned how to grab
mammals!
stuff. And
So
walk.
all it took
No,
for us
walk
mammals
like
to
that.
take
Grab stuff
over
at
was
the
just
same
wiping
time.
out the
And bang
dinosaurs.
rocks together to make pointed rocks. Ouch! And set things on fire.
Australopithecus?
Ouch. And make crazy sounds with their voice.
Early
Which can
hominids?
mean different things.
I think that's.
And now they're
I think that was either that's us or a Neanderthal. No, that's
What?
us.
You can walk over here? Cool. Well, I guess we're stuck here now.
Oh yeah, the Ice
Let's
Age where we
review.
can
There's
just
people on the
spread
planet,
everywhere.
and they're chasing their food. Fuck it, time to plant some grass. Look at this. I control the food now. Now everyone will want to
Yep,
be my
the
friend.
person
and
who had
make
the
me
most
Let's all
food
be
was
cousins
in
except
charge of
mine because
everything.
I own the food. This is great. I wonder if anyone else is doing this. Tired of using rocks for everything? Use metal. It's underground.
Oh, they.
Farming was just invented in a sweet
So how the
named
heck did they
valley
get
right
the
in
metal
between
just
these
with
two rivers,
rocks?
and the animals are helping.
Makes sense.
More food and more people who came to buy the food. Now you need people to help make the food and keep track of the sales. And now you
Yep.
need houses.
Early
Make
civilizations.
the houses, and now there's more people and they invent things, which makes things better. And more people come, and there's more farming, and more people to make more things.
Population
More people.
boom
Now
in the
there's
Fertile
business,
Crescent
money,
in the
writing,
Middle
laws,
East.
Power.
Yep, I think that's
Coming soon to a
Sumeria.
dank river valley near you. Meanwhile, out in the middle of nowhere, the horse is probably being tamed. Why is all my metal so lame and lumpy? Tired of using lame, sad metal? Introducing bronze, made with special
Bronze?
ingredient tin from the far lands of Tinland. I don't know, my dealer won't tell me where he gets it. Also, guess what? Meanwhile, out in the middle of nowhere, they figured out how to put wheels on a horse. Now we're
So what
getting
is
somewhere.
bronze
Also,
supposed to be? Tin and
Did I
copper?
mention Indus River Valley civilization?
Nordichico!
The Middle East is getting more complicated.
You're worried
Maybe
what was
because
in
it's
what was
middle of
supposed to be in the
East.
Americas?
Knock, knock, or
Nordichico's in the
pop, pop.
Americas.
It's the people with the horses, and they made an empire, and then everyone else copied their horses. Greeks. Ah, look, it must be the Greeks, or a beta version of the Greeks. Let's check
Mycenaean
in with
Greeks.
the Indus River Valley civilization. They're gone. Guess who's not gone? China.
China never goes away.
Maybe it's those horse people I was talking about.
Indo-Europeans. Indo-Iranians?
And they wrote some hymns and mantras
Ooh.
and stuff. You could make a religion
How
out of this.
Hinduism formed.
There's the Bronze Age collapse. Now the Phoenicians can get down to business. Also, can we switch to a metal that's
Yep,
a
we
little
love
easier to
business.
find? Thanks.
Iron.
Look who came back to Israel. It's the 12 tribes of Israel. And they believe in God. Just one, though. He's got like a...
Oh, that's the story of Genesis.
Must be the Olmecs. The Phoenicians make some colonies. The Greeks copy their idea and make some
The
colonies.
12 tribes of
Phoenicians made a
Israel.
colony so big
Okay,
it makes
so-
colonies. Here comes the Assyrian Empire.
So, biblical fact, and I watched a video explaining this, but also just from my faith in general, the story of Genesis, but more specifically the later stories of Genesis. It was Joseph and all of his siblings, they went on and spread in the Middle East, forming a bunch of different tribes, like the tribes that pretty much worshipped God and were Hebrews. But then, obviously, generations later, we go to Exodus. There was a new pharaoh who saw the Hebrews, used them as slaves, etc., etc. If you've seen The Prince of Egypt, then you know.
It's the Babylonian Median. It's the Persian Empire. Wow, that's big.
Ooh,
Ah, the Buddha was just enlightened. Who's the Buddha? This guy who sat under a tree for so long that he figured out how to ignore the fact
Buddha.
that we're all dying. You can make a religion out of this.
Buddhism.
Oops, China just broke, but while it was breaking, Confucius was figuring out how to have good morals. Ah, the Greeks just had the idea of
Confucianism.
thinking about stuff. And right over here, Alexander just had the idea of conquering the entire Persian Empire. It's a great
Alexander
idea.
the Great.
He was great. And now he's dead. Hopefully the rest of the gang will be able to share the empire evenly between them. Knock knock, it's Chandragupta. He says get the hell out of here.
Ah,
Get
the
hell
good
out of
old
here. Give me 500
Chandragupta.
elephants? Okay, thanks, bye. Time to conquer all of
The Mauryan Empire.
most of India. But what about this part? That's the Tamil Kings.
The
No one
Tamil
conquers the Tamil
Kings?
Kings. Who are the Tamil Kings? Merchants, probably. And they've got spices.
And all those
That's
Tamil
spices.
people
He
went to
said they were
Southeast
against
Asia.
swiftly buying it and selling it to the rest of the world. Hey, China put itself back together again with good
The
morals
Qin
as their main
dynasty.
philosophy. Actually, they have three main philosophies.
Alright, here we... Confucianism, have good morals. Taoism, go with the flow. Legalism, fuck you, obey the law. Yeah, legalism was pretty hardcore. Taoism was super chill. And then you have Confucianism, which pretty much influenced a lot of East Asian culture, which you see today. So not just really the good parts, but a lot of the bad parts that we see about East Asian culture. Like basic, like if you think about, how the collective is better than the individual, and that kind of mindset, like that horrible work mindset that exists in Japan and even South Korea and even China stems from Confucianism. There's a whole video explaining that, but that's like a 2-part video, and I don't want to spend the whole
Out here,
anniversary
the
going
horse
through that.
nomads run wild and free, and they would like to ransack your city.
China being
Let's check
ransacked by the
Greekification levels
Huns.
of the Greekified kingdoms. Greekification overload. Bye, said the Parthians. Bye, said the Jews. Hi, said the Parthians, taking over the entire place. Hey, said the Romans. eating
Hey,
entire
said the
Mediterranean
Romans.
For breakfast. Thanks for invading our homeland, said the Jews, who were starting to get tired of people invading their homeland. Hi, everything's great, said
See
some guy who seems
this!
to be getting very popular and is then arrested and killed for being too popular, which only makes him more popular. You can make a religion out of this. Want silk? Now you can buy it from China. They just made a brand new road to
The Silk Road. Historical. Conquering Vietnam.
get their own water. Sick, new trade routes, said India, accidentally spreading their religion to the entire southeast. That's a good place for an epic trading kingdom. There goes
Buddhism and
traveling up the Silk Road.
Hinduism in
Wonder if it
Southeast
reached
Asia,
China
yep.
before it collapses again. Remember the Persian Empire? Yep, said the Persians, making a new one.
But eventually, Islam went to Southeast Asia and kicked out Hinduism.
Together. China's home again.
Then it broke again.
Still can't cross the Sahara Desert? Try camels. Hell yeah!
Now we've got business.
said the Ghana Empire, selling lots of gold and slaves. Hi, I live in the Roman Empire, and I was wondering, is loving Jesus legal yet? No. Actually, okay, sure, said Constantine, moving the capital way over here to be closer to his main rival. Don't worry about Rome, it won't fall. It's the golden age
Of India.
There's the Gupta Empire, not Chandragupta, just Gupta.
Oh, okay.
First name
Never
Chandra.
mind.
The first. Guess who's in Rome?
Okay, so then this would
Non-Romans, said the
actually
Romans being
be...
invaded by non-Romans. R.I.P. Roman Empire. Or actually just half of it. The other half is just fine. But it's not in Rome anymore, so let's give it a new name.
Would this be the Tang? Would this be the Tang Dynasty in China? Because I'm thinking of when Journey to the West was
The
written.
entire Eurasian steppe. Great job, Coke Turks. How's India? Broken. How's China?
The Sui Dynasty. Okay, so it's still before Journey to the
Japan
West.
has a kingdom. It's the Sunrise Kingdom.
Japan!
Deep in
Oh,
the
intermission.
Arabian desert, on the top of a mountain, the real God whispers in Muhammad's ear. So he goes down to the cube where everyone worships gods, and he tells them their gods are all fake. And everyone got so mad at him that he had to leave town and go to a different town. You can make a religion out of this, and maybe
Islam.
conquer the world as well. The Roman Empire is long gone, but somehow the Pope is still the Pope. Plus there's new kingdoms all over Europe. I wonder if there's room for Moors. Here's all the wisdom
The
in a
Moors.
house. It's the Baghdad House of Wisdom,
Oh.
just in time for the Islamic Golden Age. Let's
Yep.
bring stuff to the coast and sell it.
Regardless of what you
Just
feel
like
about
the
Islam,
coast,
they did help
Swahili,
spread a whole lot of
Finish.
knowledge.
Remember this tiny space?
And
so
knowledge
you
is
can get
power.
From here to there, someone owns that now. Want to get enlightened in the middle of nowhere? The Franks have the biggest kingdom in Europe, and the Pope is so proud that he invites the king over for Christmas. Surprise! You're the new Roman emperor," said the Pope, pretending to still be part of
And
the
then
kingdom.
there is an
Then France
oversimplified
broke their
video
kingdom
explaining
to what
that.
will later be called France and not France. The Northerners,
It's more like the war
just
for the
Norse if
bucket,
you don't have
though.
much time, are exploring. They go north, from the north
To the northern north.
and they find some land, 2 types of land, and they name them accordingly. They also invade some other places and get called many names, such as Vikings. There's the Rus, the
Kievan Rus.
Are they Vikings? I don't think so, said the Kievan Rus.
Okay, fair enough.
The Pope is ready to make some more emperors of the Roman Empire.
The Holy Roman Empire.
It's actually Germany, but don't worry about it. New kingdoms.
Christianize all the kingdoms.
Which brand would you like? Mine's better. Mine's better. Mine's better.
The Great
Time to conquer
Schism.
them, said- It's a bird. It's a plane. It's the Seljuk Turks. said the
Literally, they were all
Byzantine
just
getting so small,
regular
almost living
Christianity,
in
and
the
then
city.
they all
They need
split
help, so they call
into
the Pope. Hey, Pope,
Catholicism
can you help us get
in
rid
the
of
West
subjects? Can you take
and
back the Holy
Orthodoxy
Land
in the
all way?
East.
Come on, I know you want to take back the Holy Land. Yes, I do.
Ah, the
actually want to do that.
Crusades.
Let's do a crusade. Crusade. They did many crusades, some of which almost didn't fail, but at least the Italians got some sweet trade deals.
Okay, yeah, this is... Okay, this should be Tang Dynasty in China now, so Journey of the West
Look at
should
those
be
mounds.
written.
There's the Pueblo. I always wondered how to build a town in a cliff. Guess who's here? Come here. Where? Here. And Pagan is there. Vietnam unconquered itself, Korea just became itself, and Japan is so addicted to art that the military might have to take over the government. China just invented bombs and typing. And the Mongols just invaded most of the universe. Nice going, Genghis. I bet that will last a long time.
Nope.
Some of the Islamic Turks were unaffected
Yuan
by the Mongol
dynasty.
invasions because they were busy invading India. Is it Tonga time?
The Delhi
It's Tonga time.
Sultanate.
I just
How
found out
Islam
that
got to
Swahili
India.
gets all their gold. Look at this Chad. Means lake. There's an empire there, right in the middle of Africa. The king of Mali is so rich.
Yeah, Mansa Musa!
Wow, that guy's rich, everyone said. The Christians are doing a great job reconquering Iberia, which will soon be called Spain and not Spain. Please remain Christian. We will check in later to see if you're still Christian when you least expect.
Nobody expects the
Folks, half of Europe
Spanish
has died.
Inquisition.
China's back, yay! Hey, come here, time to
The
share.
only reason I
Here,
discovered
here,
Monty
there.
Python is
who controls all
because
the islands?
back when
It's
I was
the
in middle
Mahajapit,
school, my
Mahajapit,
world history teacher would
Mahapajahit,
show
Mahapajit,
clips of it
Mahapajahit,
towards the end of each
Mahajapahit.
each class.
Italy's
And like it was the
really
last
good
class I
at
had
a
for
lot
the
of
day,
art and
so
ancient classics.
made
Kinda
sense.
like a rebirth. Here's a printer. Let's make books. So you think you can conquer the Byzantine Empire? Yep, said the Ottoman Turks. Nice job, Ottoman Turks. Oops.
But also that was when we
Don't forget to
learned,
ban Europe
what do you
from the
call
Indian
it?
spice trade.
The Spanish
What?
Inquisition.
Bullshit, said Portugal, spiceless. Well, I guess we'll have to find another
Oh.
way to India. said Christopher Columbus.
Man, that's a long time.
If the world is round, let's go this way to India. No, don't worry, we already.
No,
got
dude, we
this.
already got this.
So Chris got
Portugal
to
was
Spain.
like,
Hey,
nah, we're
Spain,
just gonna go down
wanna
around
go
Africa.
around back of the world? No, please, no, please, no.
But
please.
see,
Okay.
but see,
So
they
he
didn't
sails
even
around
know
and
they didn't even
discovers
know
the
North
ocean,
and South
and then
America
discovers
existed. They were just like,
Japan.
well, if we go
What's
back
our
this
line
way,
to
then we'll
decide
run.
who gets which half of the world? The
If
Aztec
we go
and
this
Inca
way,
empires were off to
then,
a great start. I wonder
or
if they
if
know
we go
that
around the
Europe
back,
is
then we'll run into Asia.
The Habsburgs are marrying into so many royal families they might have to start marrying each other.
Nope, there's
There's
2 whole continents in the way.
wants to make Russia great again. Move over, Timurids. Maybe go invade India or something. Persia just made Persia Persian again. Let's make it the other kind of Islam. The one where we thought the first guy should have been the other guy. Hey Christians, do you sin? Now you can buy your way out of hell. That's bullshit. This whole thing is bullshit. That's a scam. Fuck the church. Here's 95 Reasons Why, said Martin Luther in his new book, which might have accidentally started the Protestant Reformation. You know what would be
Yep.
magnificent, said Suleiman, wearing
Protestantism.
a hat? What if the Ottoman Empire was really big? Which it
Which
is
if you
now.
think
What if
of
Russia was big,
just
said I,
regular
trying not to be terrible.
Christianity,
Portugal had a dream that
And
they
yes,
controlled the
even the
entire
Christianity we don't
international
like.
spice trade.
It's
And then that
still
dream was
Protestantism.
real. And Spain realized that this is not India, but they pillaged it anyway. Damn, said England and France. We gotta start pillaging some stuff. Then the Dutch revolt and all the hipsters moved to Amsterdam.
Eh?
Damn, said Amsterdam.
Really, they were hipsters?
We gotta start pillaging some stuff. Question 1, can you get to India through North America?
No, but at least there's beaver.
Question 2, steal the spice trade. That's not a question, but the Dutch did it anyway. Guess where all the sugar's made? In Brazil. Stolen. In the Caribbean. And it's so
Dang.
goddamn profitable, you might
They're like,
forget to
alright.
do slavery. The next thing on Russia's
Oh,
to-do list is
slavery's
slavery.
bad,
Britain and
oh.
France are having a friendly discussion about who should control the entire world. More specifically, Ohio. Then it escalates into a 7-year discussion. Giving fresh
7-year
options to Australia and
war!
Wales. But what about Britain and France? Did they
Yup,
figure out
that
who's boss?
happened.
Yes, they did. It's Britain. Guess who's broke? Also Britain. So they start taxing the hell
All
out
the
of America.
Europeans
Fuck
went
you,
broke
says America.
fighting
They're
each other.
and fighting for it. And France
And
helps
because of
with
this,
Britain. Now
we got the
France is
US to
broke.
form.
Britain will have to send their prisoners
But now
to
France is
Britain.
broken.
Wait, if France is broke, why do the king and queen still wear such fancy dresses? Let's
We
open
were like, wait a
cut all
minute.
their heads off, said Robespierre, cutting everybody's head off until someone eventually got mad and cut his head off. You could make a No, don't.
See, I was confused about this the first time I saw this video. I was like, did he actually try to start a religion around chopping people's heads off? And of course, there's an oversimplified video about the French Revolution to where, yes, Robespierre got a little cultish towards the end of his life with like, yes, let's keep chopping people's heads off. This is good for our faith and will make France great again and everything will go back to normal and everyone will prosper and all that stuff. And yeah, he got his head chopped off.
Haiti is starting to like the idea of a revolution, especially the slaves, who free themselves by killing their masters. Why didn't we think of this before? Wait, who's in charge of France
They're
now?
like, wait a
Said
minute.
Napoleon, trying to take over Europe. Luckily, they banished him to an island.
But he came back.
Luckily, they banished him to another island. There goes Latin America, becoming independent in the Latin American Wars of Independence. Britain just figured out how to turn steam into power, so now they can make
Many different types of machines and factories.
Oh, the Industrial Revolution.
So they can make a lot of products real fast.
Then they invent some trains and conquer India and maybe put some trains there. Hey, China, said Britain, buy stuff from us. Nah, dude, we already got everything, says China. So Britain tried to
Ooh,
get them addicted to
Manchurian
everything. It
China.
worked, actually. But then China
Oh,
made it
the
illegal and
Opium
dumped it all into
War.
the sea. So Britain threw a
And then the
hissy fit
Boxer
and made
Rebellion.
5 cities and give them an island. Britain and Russia are playing a game where they try to stop each other from conquering Afghanistan. Also, the
Sultan of Oman lives in Zanzibar now.
that's
That's
just
just where he lives.
India just had a
Another one of
revolution,
my
and they would like
favorite
to govern themselves
quotes.
Now. Nope, said Britain, governing them even harder than before.
Technology is about to go crazy.
The United States finally figured out whether slavery is good or bad.
It's
they
bad.
decided. And then they continued manifesting their destiny, which is to kill the rest of the natives. and
Yeah,
take out the
manifest
Mexicans, too.
destiny.
I know, let's rape
Mm.
Africa, said
Yeah,
Europe,
we
screaming
did
so they
that.
could rape it the fastest. They never got Ethiopia.
In
Britain and France
Ethiopia.
are still hungry.
They didn't get Thailand.
The United States ran out of destiny to manifest, so they're looking for more.
Hawaii, Cuba.
Wait, Spain
In
controls
Oscar,
Cuba.
oh,
We'll
in
blame
Alaska.
something on them and go to war. What should we blame on Spain? Let's blame the Maine on Spain. So they blame the Maine on Spain. Now we're in business. To celebrate, they
And
keep
the-
Panama
yup,
and
I was gonna say
Panama
the
Canal,
Philippines.
connecting the two oceans. Britain just
And
found oil.
Panama.
It makes cars go. China is so
Yup,
tired of being
our
left
obsession
behind,
with
they
oil.
leave their old government and make a new, stronger government.
Oh, that's
which is
the
considered
Boxer
weaker,
Rebellion.
controlled by a guy from the previous government. Europe hasn't had a war since the last war, so they start World War I.
Boxer Rebellion ending
It's gonna be a great war.
ending the
So
Qing
great, we don't need a
dynasty
second
and
one.
bringing in
Control
Republic
the
of
Germany.
China, which
Russia
didn't
went on
last
strike
that
and workers
long.
overthrew the government. Now everyone's
Oh,
paycheck is
the
same.
Soviets.
In the Soviet Union,
The Arabs revolt and Britain helps. Now the Ottoman Empire is gone, so we can give the
Jewish people a place to live.
It's
Hopefully
fun-
the Arabs won't mind. Let's cut the
It's
cake,
funny,
said
look at-
Sykes and Picot, carving up the remains of the not-so-Ottoman anymore empire.
Except Turkey. Turkey makes a brand new
Oh, World War
turkey.
One.
And then the Saudis conquer Arabia. It just seemed like the right thing to do. Hello? Yes, it's the 1920s calling. Let's get in the car and drive to a party and listen to jazz on the radio and go to the movies. The economy's great and it'll probably be great forever. Just kidding.
Oh.
Germany's back featuring Hitler, the angry mustache model. And he's
Oh
back
no,
with
Angry
Jewish
Mustache
fascists.
Man.
Japan is finally conquering the East, and they're so excited they rape Nanking way too
Ooh,
much.
yeah, Japan got a little too
Hitler's out of
silly.
control, so the international community
Germany
tackles him
don't.
and tries to explain why killing all the Jews is a bad idea, but he kills himself before they could explain it to him.
That's World War II.
Bonus round, Pacific Showdown, United States versus Japan.
Oh, yes.
Fight. Finish him.
You
Let's unite all the
win!
nations and have some
World peace.
Seems legit. Hi, I'm Gandhi, and if Britain doesn't get the hell out of India, I'm going to starve myself in public. Wow, that worked.
Really?
Now there's Pakistan. Actually, 2 Pakistans. One of them could be Bangladesh later. The Jews
Dang.
and the Arabs finally figured out which one of them should live in the Holy Land.
India
Both
2
said
and
at
India
the same
3.
time, let's divide up the land so everyone's happy.
Psych, they both get angrier.
Look out, China. There's a new China.
Yep,
China. It's
in
on the
hindsight, that
communism.
probably wasn't a good
Said
idea.
another China escaping to an island. I wonder which one is the real China. There's the Korean War, Korea versus Korea. Nobody wins, then it's on pause forever. Let's meet the sponsors. Oh, it's the two global superpowers. They're having a friendly debate over which economic system is good and which one is an evil virus of Satan.
Surprise! Both of them are evil.
Fight! Wait, no, that would be the end of the world. Let's just keep it cool and spy on each other instead. And make sure we have enough atom bombs. I'll race you to space.
Yeah, they got the satellite, but we got to the moon first.
Europe is tired of pillaging other continents, and the continents they were pillaging are tired of being pillaged. So here's a new map with new countries.
Decolonization.
Now you can't tell who they're being pillaged by. The United States.
Well, here's the
decided
thing, because
whether
they were
racism
colonized for
is
so
good or bad,
long, they
South
never
is bad,
really,
and the world
even
agrees.
after
South Africa
decolonization, they never figured out how to
Let's check
civilize
the world
themselves.
population. Whoa. Okay. Technology's better too. That
Or
might keep
civilize
happening.
themselves
The Soviet Union decides to relax a little
to the
and
point
accidentally
where
falls apart.
I guess they can get on a
Europe
first world
makes a union, so now
standing.
they can all use the same money, except Britain because they don't feel like it. Let's check the mail. Surprise! It's on the computer.
Ooh,
Oops,
now we're in
just
the
attacked
putting the
a car.
present.
I bet they'll remember
Oh,
that.
almost the
Phone call. Surprise, it's in your
present.
pocket. Want to learn everything? Surprise! It's on the computer. Now your phone.
Now we're in the
It's
present.
in your pocket. Whoops! The economy just crashed. Don't worry, the big
Nope,
banks
still not
won't
the
fail
present.
because they're not supposed to. Surprise! Flying robots. With bombs. Want to print a
Okay,
brain?
now we're in the
Some
present.
people have no friends. Some people have no food. The globe is warming.
And the ocean is full of plastic.
Let's save the planet.
It's
said
getting
everybody
less, though.
knowing how. Let's invent a thing inventor. Said
And then this is AI.
inventor after being invented by a thing inventor. That's pretty cool.
AI
Where the hell-
generating generative AI. This video predicted generative AI. Good lord. Alright, let's do History of Japan.
Japan is an island by the sea filled with volcanoes and it's in the year negative a billion, Japan might not have been here. In the year negative 40,000, it was here, and you could walk to it, and some people walked to it. Then it got warmer, some icebergs
Then it got
melted,
warm.
became an island, and now there's
Into
lots
that.
of trees because it's warmer. So now there's people on the island. They're basically sort of hanging out in between the mountains, eating nuts off trees, and using the latest technology, like
Ooh.
stones and bowls. Ding
Stones and
dong, it's the outside
bowls.
world, and they have technology from the future, like really good metal and crazy rice farms. Now
Ooh.
you can make a lot of
Rice patties.
really, really quickly. That means if you own the farm, you own a lot of food, which is something everybody needs to survive. So that makes you king. Rice farming and rice kingdoms spread across the land, all the way to here.
Yeah,
The most important
baby.
kingdoms were here, 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 and here. But this one was the most important, ruled by a head
Yamato.
person, or emperor for short. Knock knock, get the door. It's religion. The new prince wants everyone to try this
Prince
hot new
Shoku.
religion from Biekt. Please try
Everyone-
this religion, he said. No, said everybody.
Try it.
He said. No, said everybody again, quieter this time. And so the religion was put into place.
They're like,
all the rules
all
that
right,
came
Buddhism
with
it is.
Then the government was taken over by another clique, and they made some reforms, like making the
Like a
government
reforms,
govern more,
making the
and
government govern more,
like
making
China's
government more like
which is a government
Chinese
that governs more.
government.
Hi, China, they said. Hi, dipshit.
Tang
Hi, China.
Dynasty.
Can you call us something else other than dipshit? Said Japan. Like what? Said
There we
China.
go.
How
Journey
about
to the West era, China.
said Japan. And they stole China's alphabet and wrote a book about themselves. And then they made lots of poetry and art and another book about themselves. Then they stopped moving the capital every time the emperor died and kept it in one place for a while, right here.
I know, I'm like,
The
wouldn't it
north
make
finally,
sense to just
Kukai
keep the
Square,
capital in
right?
one
A
place?
rich hipster named Kukai is bored with modern Buddhism, visits China, and learns a better version, which is more
Spiritual.
comes back, reinvents the alphabet, and causes art and literature
Ah,
to remain
Zen
for a long
Buddhism.
time.
Buddhism on
World powers turned
steroids,
into
which they
such a
learned for a
dreamy
little
world
bit, and then
apart
they're like,
that they
okay,
really
no,
didn't
never
shit
mind.
about running the country. So if you live outside the palace, how are you supposed to protect your shit from criminals?
Hire a samurai.
Everyone started
Yeah,
hiring Rich
samurai.
important people hired samurai. Poor people who could not afford
Ah,
to
but
hire
these
samurai
are the
could
rich,
not hire
older
samurai.
samurai.
The samurai became organized and powerful, more powerful than the government. So they made their own military government. Here, they let the emperor still be emperor, but the shogun is actually in control. Breaking news, the Mongols have invaded China,
We've invaded China.
said the Mongols.
Please respect us, or else we might invade you as well.
Okay, said Japan.
They're like, all right,
Mongols
bet,
came
homie.
ready for war, and died in a tornado. But they tried again, and had a nice time fighting with the Japanese, but then died in a tornado. Then the emperor overthrows the shogunate. Then the shogunate overthrows him back and moves to Kyoto and makes a new shogunate. And the emperor can
Ashikaga
still be a second
shogunate.
emperor if he wants, that's fine.
Now there's more art.
Like painting with less colors, collaborative poetry, plays, monkey fun, tea parties, gardening,
Monkey fun.
architecture, flowers. It's time for who's going to be the next shogun. Usually it's the shogun's kid, but the shogun doesn't have a kid, so he tries to get his brother to quit being a monk and be the next shogun. He says okay, but then the shogun has a kid. So now who's it gonna be? Vote now.
Shouldn't have said anything.
And everyone voted
Should've waited
so
till you were
hard
on your
that the palace
deathbed.
caught on fire and burned down. The shogun actually didn't care. He was off somewhere doing poetry. And the whole
He was off
country
somewhere
broke into
reading
pieces.
poetry.
Everyone is
Oh
fighting
yeah, the
for
feudal
loyalty,
era.
and it's anybody's game.
Samurai Wars.
Knock knock. It's Europe. No, they're not here to take over. They just want to sell some shit, like clocks and guns and
Jesus.
so that's cool. But everyone's still fighting each
That's
other
cool.
for control now with guns. And wouldn't it be nice to control the capital? which right now is puppets with no one controlling them. This clan is ready to make
Imagawa, yep.
First, they have to
Imagawa was
trample
gonna make the
this
first
smaller
move, but
clan, which
Oda
is in the way.
stopped him.
Surprise, the smaller clan wins, and the leader of that clan steals the idea
Nobunaga
of invading the capital and invades the capital.
invaded
and it
the
goes
capital.
very well. He's about halfway through conquering Japan when someone who works for him kills him, and then someone else who works for him
Hideyoshi,
kills them.
or no.
That guy finishes
No, that was
conquering Japan,
Akechi
and then he confiscated
Mitsuhide and
the sword,
Hideyoshi
made some
Toyotomi.
rules. And now I'm going to invade Korea, and then hopefully China, he said, and failed, and also died. But before he died, he told these 5 guys to take care of his 5-year-old son until he's old enough to be the next ruler of Japan.
Which they didn't.
5 guys said, yeah, right. It's not going to be this kid. It's going to be one of us.
Because we're grown-ups.
And it's probably going to be this guy, who happens to be way more rich and powerful than the others.
Yeah,
A lot of people
Tokugawa,
support him. A lot of
friggin',
people support
he
him.
was around there
They had a
during
fight,
when everything
and
was
then
popping
Marcus
off.
starts a new government right here.
And he was like, I'm just gonna wait
He
until
still
it's
lets
my
the emperor
right
dress
time
like
to
an
take
emperor and
control.
have very nice things. But don't get confused. This is the new government, and they are very strict.
Edo.
So strict they closed the country. No one
Edo
can leave,
period.
and no one can come in, except for the Dutch if they want to buy and sell shit. But they have to do it right here. Now that the entire
Dejima.
country was not at war with itself, the population increased a lot. Business increased, schools were built, roads were built, everyone learned to read, books were published, there was poetry, plays, sexy times, puppet shows, and Dutch studies. People started to study
Dutch
European
studies.
science from books they bought from the Dutch. We're talking geography, skeletons, physics, chemistry, astronomy, and maybe even electricity. Over time, the economic and cultural prosperity began to gradually slow down. Knock knock. It's the United States.
Yeah, that's what happens
Huge
when you're
boats
freaking locked
with
off
guns,
away from the world for so
gunboats.
long.
Open the country. Stop having it be closed, said the United States. There's really nothing they could do, so they signed a contract that lets the United States, Britain, and Russia visit Japan anytime they want. Choshu and Satsuma hated this. That sucks, they
Yep.
said.
This sucks.
And with almost very little outside help, they overthrew the shogunate and somehow made the emperor again and moved him to Edo, which they renamed Eastern Capital. They made a
Tokyo.
new government, which was a lot more Western. They made a new constitution that was pretty Western, and a military that was pretty Western. And do you know what else is Western? That's right, it's conquering stuff. So what can
They're
we
like,
conquer?
well, since we're
Korea.
westernized,
Conquer Korea.
let's
taking
conquer
it from
stuff.
its previous owner,
They got
China,
Korea.
and then go a little bit further.
They got Korea,
Russia
which
rushes in out of
Asia
nowhere
didn't
and
like.
says,
Stop, no, you can't take that. We were going to build a railroad through here to try to get some warm water.
And Russia builds their railroad, supervised by a shit ton of soldiers. And then when the
No,
railroad
not
is
the
done,
Marco
they
Polo
downgrade to a
Bridge!
fuck ton. Did I say downgrade? I meant upgrade. And Japan says, can you maybe chill? And Russia says, how about maybe you chill? Japan is kind of scared of Russia. You'll never guess who's also kind of scared of Russia. Great Britain. So Japan and Great Britain make an alliance together so they can be a little less scared of Russia. Feeling confident, Japan goes
Oh, wait,
to
no,
war
it's not
against
Marco Polo
Russia
Bridge
just for a
yet.
moment, and then they both get tired and stop.
It's time for World War I.
Yup, and
The world is
Russia
about to have a war
freaking
because it's the
suffered because of
1900s
that
and
war.
weapons are getting crazy, and all these empires are excited to try them out on each other. Meanwhile, Japan has been enjoying conquering stuff and wants more. And the next thing on their list is this part of China and lots of tiny islands. All that stuff belongs to Germany, which just had war declared on by Britain because Britain was friends with Belgium, which was being trespassed by Germany in order to get to France to kick France's ass because France is friends with Russia, who was getting ready to kick Austria's ass because Austria was getting ready to kick Serbia's ass because someone from Serbia shot the leader of Austria's ass. Or actually shot him in the head. And
Yeah,
Britain was
World War
currently
One was
friends with
super
Japan,
complicated.
So you know what that
I
means.
think it was more like everyone just had beef with each other, and it just got to the point where, like, you know what, screw this, let's just have a war.
Telly to sort of let them know. And then they did.
At the end of the
And they also
day,
helped
it was
Britain
as
over
simple
here
as
and there
that.
with some errands and stuff. Now the war is over, and congratulations, Japan. You technically fought in the war, which means you get to sit at the negotiating table with the big dudes, where they decided who owns what. And yes, Japan gets to keep all that shit they stole from Germany. You also get to join the post-war mega alliance, the
League of Nations.
whose mission statement is to try not to take over
League
the
of
world.
Nations, which
The Great
failed.
Depression is bad, and Japan's economy is now crappy, but the military is doing just fine.
Yeah,
They
see?
invade Manchuria, and the League of Nations is like,
Yeah, see, it was called the Great Depression because literally
and Japan
every
said,
country suffered.
and Japan invaded
Not just the
more and more and
US,
more
like
and more
literally
China.
every
Japan would
country
invade the entire East.
went broke
It's from
after
Germany,
World
the
War
new leader of
One.
Germany. He has a cool mustache, and he's trying to take over the world and needs friends. This also got forwarded to Italy. They all decided to be friends.
Oh
because they
no,
have
not
so
the
much in
Axis!
common.
It's time for World War II.
Germany is invading the neighbors. Then they invade the neighbors' neighbors. Then the neighbors' neighbors' neighbors, who happened to be Britain, said, holy shit. And the United States started helping Britain because they are
Good friends.
and started not helping Japan because they're
Friends and our friends are not friends. Plus they're planning on invading the entire ocean.
The United States is also working on a large, very huge bomb, bigger than any other bomb, ever, just in case. But they still haven't joined the war. War looks bad on TV, and the United States is really starting to care about their image. But then Japan spits on them in Hawaii and challenges them to war. And they say yes. And then Germany, as a symbol of friendship, declares war on the United States
Excuse me.
also. So the United States goes to war in Europe, and they help the gang chase Germany back into
Yep.
Germany. And they
The
also start
Allies.
chasing Japan back into Japan. and they haven't used the bomb yet and are curious to see if it works, so they drop it on Japan.
Oh.
They actually dropped 2.
Oh.
The United States
Just a white
installed a new
flag.
government, inspired by
Like,
the United
yeah,
States
we're
government,
good.
with just the right ingredients for a
Post-war economic miracle.
and Japan starts making TVs, VCRs,
Oh, yeah,
automobiles,
the
and camcorders
miracle,
as fast
the
as they
bubble,
can, and
the
also better
80s.
than everybody else. They get rich, and the economy goes wild, and then the miracle wears off. But everything's
And
still
the
pretty cool, I
90s.
guess.
Bye.
Oh, that's it? Dang. That was quick. 9 minutes? Jeez, we have time for a whole lot more. Dang, I don't know what else I want to watch. Here, let me find something. Let me find something. Let's see. What is a video I keep coming back to? Here, I'm gonna go back to the home page. My algorithm's probably all weird looking now. Let's see. What do we got? What do we got? Dang. Let me see. How much time do we have? I think. Nope. No, not the poem. Ah, here we go. Yes, we could do this. All right. Do a little bit of oversimplified. The First Punic War.
This video was made possible by NordVPN.
No, quiet NordVPN. Let's see. Back to this. Theater mode. Cinema mode.
Introducing our new, glorious, breathtaking bucket plushie. Limited quantity.
Whoa, so that's when the bucket
Along
plushie
with some
popped.
Punic War character pins. Buy them, or I'll marry your mother.
Hmm?
It's your choice.
My mom's already seeing someone.
Marcellus, you sure have a lot of dignitas. Kiss
A
me.
lot of dignitas.
Hey, Dad. Hi, son. Just reading the news.
Stimulus.
What can I do for you? Well, you know how you always say Rome is the greatest civilization in the world? It bloody well is.
In case you
Well, I was
didn't
just
know,
wondering,
I am a
what makes
history
us so
buff.
great? How did we come to be? Wow, my son, boy, let me.
He's
teach
like,
on
sit
it,
down,
buddy."
son. I'ma tell you a
Inside the
great
room.
story. That's me
The
explaining the story of Dragon Ball to
Rome
all of my
begins with
descendants.
these beautiful baby boys going to town on some she-wolf mommy milkers. That's gross. You're gross. Sorry, son. You're not gross. I love
Do they have
you.
abs as
Miracle
babies?
Romulus
I'm
and
sorry.
Remus. And when
That
they
is
grew up
crazy.
in 753 BC, they founded Rome. But there was just one problem. They couldn't agree on which of them should be the king. But they worked it out peacefully, right?
Nope.
Romulus caved Remus's skull in with a shovel. Here's
Oh.
Our first king committed fratricide? I know.
He's like, I know, right?
Phase. When's the part where we become the greatest civilization,
Dang.
Dad?
They could have just.
Well,
There could have been a rule
At
of
first,
two,
Rome was
like
full
in
of
Star
men.
Wars.
I'm
Oh well.
talking like a real sausage party. You know what I mean? Yes, sir. So we invited some neighboring cities over for a big feast, and then we literally kidnapped all of their women. Here's a picture. Look
Oh.
at that one. She's like. This is messed up. You're messed up. Ugh.
I'm sorry. I'll be a better
Be
father.
a better father. I promise.
He's poking his
then,
head.
Finally, after centuries of monarchy, those tyrannical kings started getting a little too big for their britches. So we overthrew the kings and established Rome as a republic. Is that when all the killing stopped?
No.
That's when the killing surged, baby. We went wild and conquered the Latin League, the Samnites, the Etruscans. Woo!
What a rush.
Rome
Yup.
seems pretty barbaric. You're barbaric! Oh, I forgot to tell you about the time a prophet told Saturn his son would one day overthrow him.
Oh, it's Saturn.
So Saturn
Like the
literally
god
ate
Saturn?
his own son seconds after
Oh
he was
yeah,
born.
Saturn is the Roman version of Kronos.
See a picture. Here's a picture. Dad, look at that. That's messed
What about
up,
it?
man. Are we really this uncivilized? Hey, hey! If we were so uncivilized, would we use communal toilets where we all fart and poo together in one big stinky, steamy, dirty toilet room?
Yes.
Dad, we would. Clean your butt with a sponge, Timulus. But all these guys just use
Clean
it.
your
What's
butt
wrong
with a
your son, bro?
sponge,
I don't want to be Roman.
Timulus.
This is so weird. You're weird. Sorry, you're not weird. I'm sure you're probably.
Oh no, not
The Roman
Dookie.
Republic,
Not
the
Dookie
nation
in the
that, since its
face.
foundation, had been stabbing necks all the way down the Italian peninsula.
Ooh.
But this isn't the famous Roman Empire that ruled the known world. Not yet, anyway. This is a relatively juvenile Rome.
Baby.
Still just a regional power. In 264 BC, the big daddy of the Western Mediterranean was Carthage. Let's rewind a bit. Carthage
Carthage.
was founded in 814 BC when some Phoenicians in Tyre had a mega
Tyre? I thought it was
surplus of goods
Tyre.
and decided to export those
Tyre.
goods across the Mediterranean. They became the dominant trading power in the region, and to support their growing trade network, the Phoenicians established a number of colonies, one of which was Carthage. Therefore,
Carthage.
began its life as a Phoenician trade colony, and the Carthaginians were actually Phoenicians. Or,
Oh.
if you're a Latin-speaking Roman, they were Punic. Hence the
Punic.
name of the video. Over the centuries,
Oh.
gradually expanded and became the region's base of power.
Yeah, sometimes you need to brush up on this
Carthage was a
stuff.
semi-democratic republic with its own senate and judiciary. But there were also some pretty hefty differences between the two.
That
Rome was
being...
big into farming and stabbing people in the neck. The Carthaginians, on the other hand, just like their Phoenician forefathers, had built their power through trade and navigating the waves. They went here and there, selling ivory tusks. gold,
Oh, so they were like
slaves.
Ming
As a
China.
result, they were rolling in it. Whenever they weren't busy swimming around in their copious hoards of money, in their spare time, they also possibly enjoyed sacrificing
Oh,
their
no.
children to Baal.
Not ball.
Let me just check my notes. Ah, yes. Plant fertility. Oh boy, these figs aren't.
No,
looking
no
too
sacrifices
hot.
to
Maybe if I throw my
ball.
son into a burning pit of fire, they'll grow. Have you tried watering them, Dad?
Nope.
No, we'll try that second. As a result of all their trading, Carthage
Sacrifice
emerged as
seems
one of the
better and
Mediterranean's
more fun.
superpowers. But wait, they said. Rome? What the heck is that? Well, I know it's a pretty obscure little country that you've probably never heard of. But this spunky young nation was about to
That's just
upset the
Italy.
entire region's balance of power. Initially, the two sides enjoyed relatively friendly relations, and had even signed a couple treaties. But it was a relationship that was practically destined to turn
Oh, no.
See, Rome had a thing where they liked to aggressively expand their boundaries, often viewing
They
such
were
expansion
aggressive
as a
go-getters.
defensive act, kind of like when you kill your neighbor because you knew eventually they would have tried to kill you first. Meanwhile,
dang.
Carthage was
That's just
extremely
called paranoia.
protective of its wealthy trade network. So if you put a very strategically important island between them, well, 2 + 2 = war. Tensions rose, and the two sides began viewing each other with increasing disdain. The hard-working Romans looked across the water at the money-hungry Carthaginians and said, "Look at those dishonest crooks. Bet they've never done an honest day's work in their lives." And the Carthaginians looked back and said, "Look at those simple-minded brutes. Bet they've never sacrificed a baby in their lives." Yeah.
I'm
While war
sure they
between the two
had back in the
superpowers
day,
seemed
but
inevitable, the
not
event
anymore.
that finally triggered it was a little unexpected. The whole thing began with a few simple mad lads on a wild night out. These mad lads are called the Mamertines. They were Italian mercenaries employed by the tyrant of Syracuse. Here, but when he died,
Not Syracuse the
successor
college,
said,
Syracuse
"Sorry,
the
fellas,
small
we don't
little
need any
city-state."
burly men with sharp sticks anymore. You can all go home." The Mamertines, as it turned out, didn't want to go home. So instead, they went to the nearby town of Messana and said, "Hey man, we are but poor little buff boys without a home. May we come in?"
Poor little buff
"Aw,
boys, what?
Fellas, sure thing. Just so long as you promise not to massacre all of us." We promise. The Mamertines then
And they
just-
massacred everybody.
Well, not all of them, just the men. And they stole their homes and families.
Dang.
This is
Oh!
my house now. This is my best dad ever mug now. And you guys are my new family. Son, wanna go play catch with your old papa? You're not my real dad! Ugh. Teenagers. Am I right, dear? You're not my real husband. Ugh, I'm so trapped in this marriage.
Oh my
Then get
gosh.
out.
No.
No, Messana was now controlled by the Mamertines, and they began raiding up and down the Syracuse coastline. When the new ruler of Syracuse saw this, he wasn't happy. The Syracusans began.
So let me guess, he was like, "Can we get some Roman help?"
The said, "Oh crap, they're fighting back. What do we do? Quick!"
Oh,
we'll convince
never
the
mind.
Carthaginians
Syracuse
to come and
didn't.
save us. Oh no, we're in trouble, and we need a big, strong empire to come and rub our bellies.
Huh?
Saying it like that. If I was a big, strong empire, I think I'd like to be seduced. It's working. The Carthaginians had long dreamed of controlling all of Sicily.
Oh, they're
They'd
all
been
flustered.
fighting Syracuse and their Greek influence on the island for centuries.
I don't think it would
And
be a
now
belly
there was a
rubbing,
great
but
opportunity to
I'd
get
probably
one
like to
over
be
on them.
seduced
So
too.
Carthage promptly answered the Mamertines' cry for help and sent a force to garrison Messana. As it turned out, however, some within the ranks of the Mamertines weren't too happy with the occupying Carthaginians, and they sent out a second cry for help to Rome.
Oh, so the Mamertines
They
played
were a
both
little more
sides.
hesitant. Going to help the Mamertines ran the risk of triggering an all-out war with Carthage, and they had only just finished conquering the Italian peninsula, so they
Oh.
were kind of tired. Plus, the Mamertines were all the way across the water.
You're like,
They had
"Dude,
never
they're
been
too
leagued
far."
like that before. So you would assume that to avoid any conflict with Carthage, the exhausted Romans would probably sit this one out.
You're like, "Nah, we're good."
Would assume wrong. Rome just couldn't resist a good chance for war. Why? Well, there's something you gotta understand about Rome. See, as a republic, they were hellbent on preventing any one man from ever gaining too much power. And so rather than having one leader, Rome had two, called consuls,
Ooh.
who shared
Oh,
power.
consul.
These consuls
Why
could
didn't
also
they
only
think of
serve
that
for
back
1
when they
year
had
at a time
Romulus and
before new
Remus?
consuls were elected. These measures to limit the
1 year
powers of the
term.
consuls were noble, but had an interesting side effect. The consuls knew they had just 1 year to try and gain as much glory and prestige as possible, something that was very important in Roman society.
Dignitas.
And the best way of gaining glory and prestige? Military
Victory.
of course. The
So
Roman
that's
political
why
system
Rome conquered so
basically
much.
ended
They were
up
like, "Dude, we have
encouraging these
1 year to
consuls
freaking
go
conquer
out
some stuff."
and be as aggressive as your Italian grandmother when you don't eat all the spaghetti.
Oh no,
So
I
the
always finish all my
glory-seeking
spaghetti.
consuls convinced the people
I love
to
the
vote in
spaghetti.
favor of going to Messana. And in
But yeah,
they
Italian
went.
food never
Upon the
misses.
arrival of the Romans, the
It always
Carthaginians
hits.
in the city, amongst the confusion, were forced to leave. Now, in contrast to Roman aggression, the Carthaginian military had a slightly different philosophy. All right, kids, listen up. If you want to grow up to be Carthaginian military leaders, there's a few things you have to understand. If
Oh,
you
yeah?
fail to succeed on the battlefield, that's a crucifixion.
What?
Cowardice, that's a crucifixion. Hello,
Oh, yeah.
sir. What
Failing
are
on
you
the
doing here?
battlefield,
Aren't
I
you
don't
meant to be
get.
Messana?
Being a coward, yes,
The Romans
absolutely.
showed up. So you just left? Sure did.
Just, let's see.
Oh, you better believe
Dissertation?
that's a crucifixion.
Or no, not dissertation. Desertment?
The Roman consuls
Yo, you
were
better
aware of
believe that's a
victory,
crucifixion.
And therefore, tended to be aggressive go-getters. By contrast,
Aggressive
the
go-getters!
Carthaginian generals were brutally punished for failure, and so they tended to be more cautious and restrained. This dynamic is helpful for understanding some of the crazy things that happened during the Punic Wars. So, the Romans have crossed over to Messana, and now there was some red on the island.
Uh-oh.
That panic button.
They panicked by a
This
little bit of red.
turbulence was unacceptable to both Carthage and Syracuse. So traditional enemies teamed up to kick the Romans off their island. They surrounded the city and said, "Hey, you jerks! This isn't
Hey,
your
you jerks!"
island. Come out of there at once." "Okay, we're coming." See, Phil, you just gotta speak with authority. That's what being an alpha male's all about. Hey, man.
Hey.
Oh, you brought your weapons and armor? No, I didn't mean. Oh crap! Out the Roman legions came to
They're like,
engage
oh.
the Carthaginians in battle.
Wow, that
and
was-
They sent them packing. With the battle
That was
of Messana,
anticlimactic.
Whether intended or not, by going to help the Mamertines, the two sides had just slipped into an all-out war.
And war it was.
With the initial Roman victory, towns across Sicily, including Syracuse, began switching allegiance because being a winner is more fun. But the Carthaginians
Yep.
weren't about to just give up that
Played both
easy.
sides and then just
In
picked the winning side.
262 BC, they began building up their forces at Agrigentum. So the Romans, being aggressive go-getters, aggressively go-got them. The Romans immediately laid siege, hoping to starve out the Carthaginian garrison. However, because this was the first time Rome had been fighting outside the Italian peninsula, across the water, they struggled to supply their forces, and before long,
'Cause of boats.
the Romans were as starving as the Carthaginians they were besieging. They had to forage for food, leaving them open to ambush. And when
Oh!
Carthaginian reinforcements arrived, creating a double siege. Things
No, not a
got
dude. How the heck? A
Everybody
double
starved each
siege?
other for months until nobody could take it anymore. And
They're like, they set up a
finally
wall
came
outside
for
our wall.
which Rome won. Here's the report from the recent siege at Agrigentum, sir.
We killed 30,000 while only suffering 7,000 losses? That's amazing! We're the best! Yes, sir. Whoops, those are the wrong way around.
Oh.
What? We lost 30,000? We're the worst! But we won, right?
We won, but we
But
spent so
also got our
many.
asses kicked. Yes, sir. So
Like
are we the
literally,
best or the
we
worst?
expended so many troops
Yes,
just
sir.
to kill 7,000 Carthaginians.
The
We
Romans
won, but at what cost?
Because they were aggressive go-getters, and they now began eyeing up the possibility of conquering the entire island. But they also suffered very heavy losses, and it was clear they couldn't sustain a campaign. if
Yeah,
they couldn't
exactly.
supply their
We
troops.
won, but at what
Here's
cost?
the issue. Sicily
Was an island.
Ooh, there's a volcano on it.
Islands are surrounded by water. A strong navy would be vital for supplying troops and winning the war.
Yup.
Here was Carthage's navy, and here was Rome's. I think you can see the problem.
Rome had
Historians
no
debate
navy.
Just how much naval experience Rome had at this point. Presumably, they must have had something to defend their shoreline. But whatever it was, it would have paled in comparison to the Carthaginian juggernaut. And
Yeah,
so
'cause they
Rome
already
had to
mastered
figure
the
out
sea.
exactly what to
'Cause
do
they were
about
traders
all this
before.
water.
Come on, men. We're not gonna let some pansy candy-ass water get in the way of our glorious victory against Carthage. Charge! Tell my kids I love them.
Oh.
We're gonna need a bigger boat. What's a boat? I don't
Huh?
know. If the Romans
I don't
wanted to
know.
win this war and
What's a
obtain Sicily,
boat?
there was only one thing for them to
He
do.
got so
Guess
distressed.
we're just gonna have to go ahead
He was
and
like,
build
oh no,
ourselves a
I don't know what a boat
Wait,
is.
from scratch? From scratch. But we don't even know how.
Never mind how to fight with one. Don't worry, Hank.
We're up to the challenge. Come on, guys. We're Romans. And Romans aren't afraid of anything.
So, the Romans were
A little word.
trying
Oh,
to figure
okay.
out how on earth you actually
There goes the
got
horses.
this
Why are you
style
whipping a
of warfare.
fish?
In the end, they had a bit of luck on their side.
A Carthaginian quinquereme ended up accidentally grounding
Ooh.
on Italian soil. The Romans found
Wow, they got
it
lucky.
and copied the design. While the new fleet was being built, the Romans trained rowers on land. And would you believe it? The Romans put together a full fighting fleet of
I'm like, okay, let's study this and let's make it in our image.
2 months. A staggering feat.
In 2 months?
But oversimplified.
That's
If the Romans
incredible.
could build a war fleet from scratch in 2 months, then why does it take you half a year to make a video? Well, my valued subscriber, I think you should shut up. The siege at Agrigentum.
Thank you for
supplies
skipping that
and
sponsor.
building a war fleet. So now the Romans have a navy, and it's
Nice.
time to put it to the test. But how does one wage ancient
But
naval
still,
warfare?
120
Easy.
ships in
All
2
of the
months?
ships
That's
had giant
amazing.
bronze rams on the front. So all you had to do was outmaneuver the enemy and give him the jimmies.
Give him the
Easy as
jimmies.
pie. And so the aggressive Romans set out for some good old
The aggressive go-getters went and go-got.
Gnaeus Cornelius Scipio set out for the town of Lipara, believing the garrison
Scipio!
wanted to join the Romans. As he entered the harbor, however, he found himself trapped by a Carthaginian fleet, and in the following skirmish, he was completely outmatched. The Romans may have had a brand new fleet, but when it came to engaging in actual combat, their inexperience
Yep,
showed.
they're able to make
There was
boats,
just something
but
better about the
they still don't know
Carthaginians.
how to
The
fight on the
Carthaginian
ocean.
rowers had nicer abs. The entire Carthaginian Empire had been built on expert seamanship.
Mm-hmm.
When it came to water, the Carthaginians were better, and the Romans were wetter.
Yep,
In
wetter.
the initial skirmish, the Romans were beaten so badly that the consul, Scipio, was given a nickname, Asina. And if you're wondering what that means,
Just
Oh, dang.
So what were
Scipio,
Romans to do?
the
How could they
Scipio the
possibly
loser.
stand up to this Carthaginian superpower? Well, there's something you gotta understand about the Romans. Back when they found that Carthaginian ship and copied its design, that wasn't a one-off thing. Copying their enemies was as Roman as punishing murderers by
Yep.
sewing them into a leather pouch with a monkey
Yep,
snake
one thing the
imprisoned
Romans
and
were
then
good at
throwing them into a river.
was copying and
Thing.
improving upon.
What was I talking about? Oh yeah, copying their enemies. Many of the most famous Roman inventions were actually borrowed. Aqueducts, chariot racing, their gods. Even in warfare, the Romans would get pierced by a Sabine javelin, and they'd be like, wow. They'd get hacked to bits by an Iberian sword, and they'd be
Like, oh.
and they'd copy the designs for themselves. However, they wouldn't just copy it. They would advance it, finding
Yup.
ways to adapt it as perfectly
They're like,
as
okay, let's see the
possible.
problems
And
of
in the
it.
case of naval warfare,
And we'll
the
just
Romans
add
realized
this,
if
and
they
now
wanted
it's
to beat the
perfect.
Carthaginians
Or
at
it's
the real
Roman.
game, they would have to adapt. The Romans excelled at combat on land, not on water. But what if, they said, we could somehow turn a sea battle into a land battle? Sounds crazy, right? Well, they made a couple of tweaks to their warship. And look, here they come again. They must love getting their asses kicked. Sir? What's that toll thing sticking out of their ships? They really are idiots. Look at that thing. That'll make them blow over. I mean, look at... Bob! Bob! Get your camera out. Take a picture of it. I mean, how stupid can you be? Let's
I don't know. I would probably
that'll weigh us down
wait and
blow
see.
us over in the wind. I mean, what does that thing even do?
Raiding party! And they didn't have their weapons ready.
The Romans had built a big swinging spiked gangway called the Corvus.
The
So when
Corvus.
the Carthaginian ships approached to ram them, the Romans would just slam them. The Carthaginians tried going around. No problem. The Corvus could swivel. Try
It
going
could
behind.
swivel?
The Romans
Oh,
were
that's
to the coastline.
that's even
It
better.
was foolproof. Those big, sexy Carthaginian rowing muscles could flex all they want, but they were no match for the Roman mind. So,
Hey!
ladies, you see, what really matters
Ugh.
is what's on the inside. Please go out with me. And with
Dang.
that, the Romans, who had
How'd they
only
find the
just
stock
recently
photos?
began
Their stock
dabbling in
photo
the
of
art
someone like
naval
that.
combat, thanks to their ingenious Corvus, had just managed to outclass the Mediterranean seafaring superpower. The Carthaginians were stunned, and the
They were like,
general
how the
in
heck did they
charge
do
of the
that?
defeated Carthaginian fleet.
Hannibal
You
Gisco.
better believe. That's a
You better
crucifix.
believe that's a crucifixion.
With their newfound control of the seas, the Romans could now more easily blockade coastal cities and supply their legions on land. Sure,
Now we have
the Romans were now
supplies.
free to unleash their aggression all over the island.
Ew.
Haha!
Hey, yo.
Carthaginians, what are you gonna do now that we're free to rampage across the island? We're gonna go inside these walls and close this gate. Oh, come on, guys. Stop messing around. Come out so we can kill you.
Come
No.
out so we can kill
Oh,
you.
come on. No.
Oh, no.
To counter the new Roman
Yep.
supremacy, the Carthaginians
Oh, I love
decided
that
to
little
engage in
thing.
defensive war of attrition,
Oh,
forcing the
no.
Romans to engage in siege. After lengthy siege, the war in Sicily became a long, hard, back-and-forth slug. One by one, cities slowly fell as the Romans gained ground. Occasionally, the Carthaginians countered and even pushed them back, only for the Romans
Oh,
to
dang, that's a
rebound
big
again.
ol' gap.
And whenever a city did finally fall, the Romans could delight in slaughtering the entire population and selling any survivors into slavery, which was pretty standard procedure at the time. In general,
Yep.
the campaign on land was
Everyone was
progressing
doing
slower
slavery.
than the Romans had hoped, and quite frankly, they were getting sick of it. So in 256 BC, they decided that something had to change. Hey everyone, my name's Marcus Attilius Regulus. And I'll
Regulus.
be one of your consuls for this year. Look, as I'm sure you all know, Sicily's being a bit of a drag. Sure, I could go and spend my entire year as consul besieging one single city, but they'll never make a naked statue of me for that. So here's the new plan.
Why would you
I'm
want a
gonna
naked
skip
statue?
Sicily entirely, take my army, and go right for the heart of Carthage itself. I'll slaughter the men, enslave all the women and children, and when I return, you'll all build 1,000 naked statues of me. Marcus, that women and children stuff, that seems pretty evil and barbaric. No, Jim, it's perfectly normal in the ancient world. Sometimes we even chop their pets in half.
Dang. True story.
Okay, guys.
Everyone was barbaric,
Straight for us.
even though they weren't barbarians.
What will they do when they get here? They'll kill us all. They'll massacre each and every last one of us. They may even chop our pets in half. That's barbaric! No, Rob, it's actually pretty normal for the time. We'd do the same to them. Who'll protect us? Funny you should ask, Mary. That's kind of why I called this meeting.
I know why I called this
Who will
meeting.
protect us?
Who will
Protect
protect
our
us?
families.
Or
our
no, who will
homes,
protect us?
Our children. You guys? Ha! Don't make me laugh. Why, you're just a bunch of stupid and weak farmers. Simple-minded buffoons. Cowards. Fools. Rob here thinks enslaving women and children is barbaric. You're a snowflake, Rob. Yes, you
Dude.
are. The fact is, if the Romans manage to land on African soil, we're all gonna die. A terrifying, hideous, unspeakably painful death.
Is that it?
Is that the end of that speech? Yes.
Oh yeah. Yep. Run.
The Carthaginians had to stop the Romans from ever landing
Like,
in
nope.
Africa
If they
because
land on
that
Africa, we're
would
screwed.
be the end. So as the Romans were building an invasion fleet, the size of which the world
Do
had
do do
never
do
seen
do.
before,
Making
the
our Corvus
Carthaginians were
ships.
preparing an even bigger one to stop them. And in 256 BC, as the Roman invasion fleet made its way south, the stage was set for
Interception.
a humongous battle that saw 680 warships, around 300,000
Cape
men,
Ignomus.
fighting to decide the course of the war. To this day, the Battle of Cape Ignomus remains possibly the largest naval battle in human history.
Dang.
All the way back in ancient times. So the next time your granddad tells you about the time he sank a Japanese aircraft carrier, kick him in the nuts. The Romans
Ow.
had a lot riding on this battle. They weren't just sending their warships, but transports as well, full of supplies and horses for their invasion of Africa.
Isn't that a
They
bit
therefore
risky?
formed a protective wedge-like formation to punch through the long, thin Carthaginian line. The Carthaginian generals, however, desperate to prevent the Romans from reaching Africa, had a plan of their own. As the Roman fleet approached,
Here they
the
come.
Carthaginian center feigned a retreat, luring the Romans in so their outstretched flanks could envelop
Oh
and
no!
around the Roman Corvus. A clever plan. But with such a huge battle and so many ships crowded together, the Carthaginians struggled to maneuver as needed. And in the chaos, 3 separate battles emerged across the huge battle space. With the number of ships limiting their ability to maneuver, the Carthaginians became sitting ducks, and all the
And
Romans
so
had to
any of the
do
remaining
was
Roman
start
ships
swinging.
left would just
The
go and
Roman center
transport the
came out on
supplies.
top, and were then able to turn around and rescue their pinned down flanks. The Battle of Cape Ignomus was a Roman victory.
It was a landslide? Or, well, I couldn't tell. Alright, I'm gonna load up the second, or part 2. Okay, I am hungry. I'm gonna go grab something to eat real quick. I will be right back. Don't go away. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Now, back to the video.
After the gigantic battle at Cape Ignomus, the Romans were now free to land on African soil. And so,
I just went and
they
heated me
did.
up something cool,
The
super quick.
Carthaginians chose to focus on defending the city of Carthage itself. So the Romans immediately took the city of Aspis and were then free to raid and plunder the countryside. They took over 20,000 slaves and a ton of booty. But then,
What kind of
some
booty?
orders arrived from the Senate. Send home the booty.
Oh, but I want to stay.
Whoa, that guy has a.
Steve, not you. They mean the treasure.
That guy does have a booty.
Well, we are not watching any more of this filth. So the other consul left with
It's
the
still
booty,
informative.
leaving Regulus and his forces on their own, and they began advancing towards Carthage. Along the way, according to the ancient writer Livy, they
If I was a history
encountered
teacher, I would
literal
definitely
dragon.
show
Now,
oversimplified
Livy
videos.
was a Roman historian, so his account may be slightly exaggerated. But this, I believe. As the Romans continued to plunder, the Carthaginian people flooded into the city.
Man.
Now, not only was it in a major panic, but it was so
Allergies are
crowded,
acting up.
The people began to starve. Don't panic,
I had to take a little bit of allergy medication.
Look, I know you're all starving, but I still have food for me.
Oh,
So, you know, it's not all bad.
not all bad for you.
Whoa! You're wasting your tomatoes! And you idiots wonder why you're starving? Oh well, it's just more food for
me.
Things weren't looking good for
Oh, that's
Carthage.
actually pretty
They
funny.
had to do something to stop the Romans rampaging throughout their land. So they decided, finally, it was time to put an end to it. They headed out and set up on rough hilly terrain overlooking the Roman camp, and they prepared for battle. Now, while the Carthaginians were the traditional masters of the sea, on land, they weren't always the brightest. Case in point, setting up in this position overlooking the Roman camp was just about the stupidest thing they could have done. Why? Well, there's something you gotta understand about Carthage. The Carthaginian land forces actually suffered from a multitude of different issues. First of all, since the Carthaginians were rich, they could afford to pay a huge number of foreign mercenaries to fight for
So they
them.
didn't even
These
get
mercenaries
Carthaginian, like
actually
actual
made up the
Carthaginians
vast
for an
majority
army.
of Carthage's forces, and therefore, Carthage's land armies were a melting pot of many different cultures. This, however, meant that if a battle wasn't going their way, there could be loyalty issues. Man, I ain't getting paid enough for this. You Balearic slingers better not be thinking of running away. What did he say?
What did he say?
I don't know, man. I don't speak Phoenician. Let's get out of here. Clearly, there were also language issues. The military generals tended to be Carthaginian, but they made a lot of strange decisions. For example, one of the most feared assets of the Carthaginian army were the war elephants. To a Roman
Yeah, the
soldier who had never even
elephants.
seen an elephant before, this was like fist fighting, a literal monster. Yet the Carthaginians continually kept placing the elephants in the rear, where they were no use. In a similar fashion, the neighboring region of Numidia provided
Yeah, why were the
Carthage with
elephants
most
kept in the
skilled
back?
cavalrymen in the
Wouldn't
world,
you put them
but
up
the
front and
Carthaginians
just have them
often
ram
chose to
through
fight on
everyone?
rough, uneven terrain, where
And by the time
horses
they
and
do
elephants
go
were less
down,
effective.
they already cleared out
And
most of the
so,
forces.
in this case,
And then you
when
just
the
pick off the
Carthaginians
remaining
again chose the
forces.
rough terrain near the Roman camp, the Romans easily sent them packing. Everything was looking up for Regulus. A Roman victory seemed like it was only a matter of time. But then, Regulus realized something. He had been consul for almost a year, and his term was coming to an end. He knew that if his successor took over and he finished the job, then he would get the naked statues, not Regulus. And there was no way Regulus was going to allow that. So he jumped the gun. You there, Carthaginian boy, I want you to deliver a message to your elders. I, Marcus Attilius Regulus, demand the total and unconditional surrender of Carthage. Unconditional surrender? Jeez, at least lay siege and starve us all to death first. Just deliver the message, you punk! He demands your total surrender. What? Jeez, at least lay siege and starve us all to death first. Hey, that's what I said. Well, boys, this Roman thinks we're out. But we're not out, are we, boys? No! We'll do what we always do in times like this. Hire somebody else to solve our problems for us. Baron, bring in the Spartan. Regulus's overly harsh demands had the
They hired a Spartan.
reinvigorating Carthaginian resolve. They brought in a mercenary from the famed land of Sparta.
We're gonna
named
send a Greek to
Xanthippus,
fight a
help
Roman.
dig them out of this situation. And we all know what
Xanthippus.
Spartans are like.
Ah, 300.
Xanthippus showed up and
Not historically
immediately took
accurate, but a
charge.
great
He had to
movie.
look around and said, "You idiots! Put the elephants in front of the army so they can smash into the Romans and stop fighting on rough, uneven terrain. Find a big flat field so your superior cavalry can do their job." And what's this I hear about you giving a speech telling everyone they're gonna die?
You're gonna die.
I was just telling the people
The
the
truth.
You're a
You're a politician.
Lie to the people.
They're like, oh,
Xanthipus led out the newly
you're
reformed
doing your job wrong.
to meet Regulus in the Battle of the Bagradas River. The elephants, now in the front.
Okay, there we
smashed
go.
into the Roman
Now,
lines, causing
now you're
disarray.
using your
The
elephants
cavalry,
properly.
With total freedom of movement, outflanked the Roman infantry. Thanks to this.
There you
impressive
go.
slaughter,
That's how you do
was
it.
a total Carthaginian victory. And Xanthippus, for his stunning victory, was forced to flee Carthage because the leadership got jealous. Regulus,
Oh.
the Roman consul, was captured during the battle. Legend has it, he was brought before the Carthaginian council, and they made a proposition. Well, Reggie, not looking so
Reggie.
good anymore, is it? Looks like we beat
Marcus,
pretty bad.
Regulus, Reggie.
Up yours, you punic pansies! Now,
Man.
now, Regulus, nobody likes a sore loser, do they? No. How about this? We're gonna send you back to Rome, and you convince the Roman Senate to surrender to us. If you fail, though, you gotta come back so we can torture you to death. Okay? Okay.
Really?
You promise? I promise. Hey guys. Whoa, Regulus. We thought you got captured. I did, but they sent me back to convince you to surrender. Well, should we? Surrender? No! Never surrender. Give him hell, boys. They're at the end
So,
of their rope.
They
Anyway,
freed him,
I got
sent him
pretty
back,
tortured to
and
death.
he went back to
What?
get killed
Yeah,
anyways?
part of the deal I made. It's a long story. Whoa, hey, wait, Regulus. No, it's cool, guys. I promised. Regulus. This is ancient times. We massacre entire populations. We chop pets in half. You can break a promise. No, Tim. You never break a promise. That's too far.
That's
And so,
too
Regulus
far.
went back to Carthage and
I
was
keep forgetting
tortured
about.
to death.
Oh,
And for keeping his
oh.
promise, he was immortalized as
Hey,
the
but he
leading
finally
symbol
got his snake
of
statue.
Roman virtue. Meanwhile, after their defeat in Africa, the
That's
remaining
too
Roman survivors,
far.
still in Africa,
I gotta start using
were
that.
still in Africa, and they needed to be rescued. So the Romans sent their fleet to pick him up and bring him home. They successfully fended off a Carthaginian fleet, grabbed the survivors, and made their way
Bring
to
the boys
Sicily. A
home.
great success. But then, things took a turn for the worse. Sir? That cloud looks kind of angry. Fear not, coward. If we Romans can build a war fleet from scratch and defeat the Carthaginian Empire at their
They should
own
have stopped
game,
at Sicily
why, then even Mother
and waited for
Nature
the storm to
herself
clear and
will
then head
crumble
back.
before us. I laugh in the face of Mother Nature. Ha ha! See? Come on, guys. Laugh at Mother Nature with me. Ha ha!
See?
284 ships, nearly 80% of the Roman fleet was destroyed.
They should have stopped at
As many
Sicily.
as 100,000 men drowned in a terrifying act of nature. Never before had Rome lost so many men in a single incident. 100,000 casualties for any other nation would be crippling. Any other nation would hastily sue for peace. Any other
But you
nation
can't sue
would spend
nature.
decades trying to recover. But Rome was not just any other nation. Infamous for its unrelenting determination in the face of overwhelming odds, Rome said, well, I guess we'll just have to build another fleet. And they did. In just 3 months, they built 220 more
Ooh.
ships. An astonishing feat. The Romans sent out their brand spanking new war fleet. And
Oh, they didn't even make it to Sicily.
they got caught in another storm. This time, a whole nother fleet was lost. And still, the Romans did not give up. The Carthaginians couldn't believe it. Their enemy had just lost hundreds of thousands of men, had 2 fleets almost entirely destroyed, and they still
And they still wouldn't surrender.
As one Roman
They're like,
poet
nope.
put it, the victor is not victorious if the vanquished does not consider himself so. In
I mean,
typical
yeah.
Roman fashion,
I'm not a
after
loser until I say I'm a
once
loser.
again building another fleet. However, for now, after all the disasters at sea, the focus began shifting back to the land campaign in Sicily. The Carthaginians, overconfident from recent successes, attempted to retake Panormus, but the Romans countered the terrifying war elephants by throwing stuff at them and scaring them away. Having stopped the Carthaginian advance, the road was now
because elephants
open
are
to
smart.
the
They're like,
final
this isn't
Carthaginian
worth it.
stronghold on the island. Lilybaeum. Lilybaeum.
Lilybaeum. That's fun to say. Lilybaeum.
In 250 BC, the Romans laid siege. The Carthaginian defense, however, was fierce, and skilled blockade runners kept the city supplied. Progress was so slow that the siege would last another 9 years. To make matters worse, the Carthaginians later sent possibly the greatest military general of the time, a man named Hamilcar Barca, to the island. He engaged in a skillful campaign of guerrilla warfare behind enemy lines, and for the remainder of the war, he was a major thorn in the Roman side. For now, with the deadlocked siege at Lilybaeum and the new Roman fleet at sea, things seem to be at a standstill, and the Romans had to do something to break the deadlock. Thankfully, the Roman consul, Clodius Pulcher, had an idea. He tried to get things moving by attacking the Carthaginian fleet at Trapana. Now, before a battle, to predict if they would win, it was common for the Romans to look for signs from the gods. This could mean observing the weather or inspecting some cow livers.
Inspecting cow
typical
liver?
religion stuff. In this case, Pulcher reportedly tried to feed some sacred
I mean,
chickens.
weather,
but
obviously.
Fortunately for him, they wouldn't eat a crumb. A very bad sign. Well, he said, if they won't eat, then let them drink. Stupid chickens! We'll observe
Oh,
the
there goes the
weather
chicken.
instead. Gods, give me a sign. Ignore that. Okay, how about this? If I can get this piece of paper into that trash basket, we'll win. Okay, if I can stand here silently for 5 seconds and do nothing, we'll win.
Didn't you hold it in? Oh well.
And in the following battle, the superior Carthaginians.
Nice. I enjoyed a nice snack
It also didn't
without
help
stuffing
that by
myself
now the
before
Romans
birthday
had
dinner.
removed the Corvus to stabilize their ships, and without their secret weapon, it was a disaster.
No way, they removed the
Was
Corvus?
disgraced. To make matters worse, the victorious Carthaginian fleet then went on to intercept a Roman supply fleet on its way to Lilybaeum. As they approached, however, they saw the signs of an incoming storm, so they took shelter. The Romans, on the other hand, said, "Onward, men! Set sail! We've got to deliver these
It's a
supplies
storm.
step
Have you
by
not
step."
learned
Those
anything?
clouds. Don't you think we ought to have learned our lesson by now? Yes, Brian, we ought to have. But we haven't. Another
We
fleet
haven't.
and 50,000 men lost in another storm. Disaster. Now, at this
They
point,
just did
there
not
still
learn.
really isn't a clear winner. Sure, the Romans have captured most of Sicily and cornered the Carthaginian land forces at Lilybaeum, but the continued disasters at sea were critically depleting their
Oh,
resources.
no.
And without a strong fleet, Rome could not win. Meanwhile,
Uh-oh.
Hamilcar Barca was still knocking about and creating even more problems.
Hamilcar
Where do
Barca!
we go from here? How does this war finally end? By now, the two sides had been fighting for 23 years. They were exhausted. Their money, their resources, their strength were all utterly spent.
Like, is it even
Carthaginians
worth
in
it?
particular were eager to see the war end so they could get back to trading and making money. So after the latest Roman disaster at sea, they said, look, there ain't no way in heck the Romans can come back again. They can't possibly afford to build another fleet. They're done.
And they
That's
did
it.
make another fleet.
Call the Navy, repurpose them as merchant ships, and let's get back to making some money. Assuming the Romans would soon make peace, an anti-war
No,
faction was
the Romans are like,
recruited
no.
a large portion of the Navy, leaving Hamilcar on his own. The victors appeared to be declaring themselves victorious. Meanwhile, the vanquished were getting ready for round 5. The
Again,
Romans built
ambitious
another
go-getters.
fleet,
The
this time
Romans
heavily
just
relying
don't
on
stop.
Patriotic donations from the upper classes to afford it. And once again, they put to sea. Sir, the Romans have built another fleet.
But since they lessened their ships, don't need the Corvuses this time.
Around in this pile of money? But sir, I don't care anymore, Clarence. I just don't care. The Carthaginian politicians made a
Poor
fairly
Clarence.
lackluster final effort with a poorly built fleet to supply their forces in Sicily. But when the brand
He was trying to tell you and you wouldn't listen to him.
Battle of the Aegates, even without their signature Corvus, they dealt them the final blow. And that was that. 23 years of war.
23?
Could afford
Yeah,
to keep
it's
fighting,
not
but
worth
the
it at that
Romans showed
point.
That they intended to anyway. The Carthaginians had no choice but to.
Well, the
throw
Romans are
in
like, nope.
the war.
I didn't
had been
hear no
won and
bell.
lost for both sides.
I'ma
But in
keep
the end,
swinging.
it was Roman determination that won the fight. The Romans had spent the
Because the
entire
frickin'
war
Carthaginians
trying to
called it
find a
early.
way
We're
to
like, no, we
deliver
already
the
won.
combat
Let's
blow.
just get back to making
They
money.
learned how to build a fleet and
I'm
engage
like,
in
nope,
naval
dude.
combat. They developed ingenious new
You
ways
basically gave
of
up.
waging war. They attempted an invasion of the Carthaginian heartland, and whenever disasters struck them, they always came back again and again. The Carthaginians, on the other hand, spent the entire war watching whatever Rome did, and then figuring out how to respond. They were much more passive, and so it's no wonder then that when both sides were close to collapse, Rome was the one who figured out how to go that little bit further. In 241 BC, the Carthaginian politicians sent word to Hamilcar Barca that he was on his own and could choose to make peace with the Romans if he wished. Hamilcar was stunned. He felt
He's
betrayed
like,
by the
"What?"
politicians. Some sources say he refused to even negotiate. Nevertheless, terms had to be drawn up. Well, Hammy, I'm glad
Hammy.
the Carthaginians have finally come to your senses and recognized who the true winner is. How many fleets did you lose?
Like,
Here
I'm
are our
sorry.
terms. You leave Sicily to us and return all of our prisoners. You're not allowed to make war against Syracuse or her allies, and you have to pay us 2,200 talents of silver over the next 20 years. What's a talent of silver? Well, to put it in perspective, in the year 2022, that'll be worth around, let's say, 40 million US dollars. That will cripple us. Wow, we got a real smart guy over here. Yeah, that's kind of the point, you dingus. Ugh, I guess I have no choice. I accept. Great. Oh, by the way, we changed our minds. You actually have to pay us 3,200 talents of silver
Huh?
for 10 years. Thanks for accepting. Dude! See you later.
Dude.
Hey! You didn't let me say uncool!
You didn't let me say uncool.
Uncool. The treaty was extremely punishing, and by switching up the terms at the last minute, they enraged the Carthaginians. But still, one of the longest and deadliest wars
23
at the
years.
time was
Casualties
finally
unknown, but a lot.
the Romans.
Hundreds
had
of
won.
thousands.
They achieved their aim of gaining Sicily. And even though it wasn't part of the peace deal, they took advantage of a weakened Carthage and grabbed Corsica and Sardinia as well. Roman
Dang.
expansion beyond the Italian peninsula had just begun. The Romans hoped that now the Carthaginians would forever be under their thumb. Unfortunately, the harsh terms they placed on the Carthaginians at the end of the war left a growing anger, one that would come back to haunt them. One day, Carthage will have its revenge. That's nice, dear. I'm serious, woman. Maybe not in my lifetime, but perhaps in his. My beautiful son. You are born into a momentous destiny. You shall be Rome's greatest enemy.
Ooh.
You'll tear Rome limb from limb. You'll burn their pathetic city into the ground. You'll slaughter their people, men, women, and children. My child, you are vengeance. Stop telling our baby he's vengeance. But he
What's
is,
with my
Barbara.
eye?
He's
What's with my
vengeance.
eye? Here.
That may be so someday.
fix this.
But for now, our son has a name, and you should call him that instead. His name is
Hannibal. Not Hannibal Lecter, but Hannibal Barca. Oh, the Second Punic War, which is already out. But we don't have time to watch it. Dude, what is with my tracking? What the heck? What is with my tracking here? I'm going to... Yeah, dude, I'm like derping out. Here, hold on. What the? What's going on? Yeah, dude, it looks like my model's having a stroke. Okay, there we go. That's better. I guess it just didn't know how to track me. I think it was tracking, I think it was tracking my mic or something. Okay, there we go. That looks better. There we go. Yeah, I wonder what happened. Anywho, yeah, that's gonna be it from... Wait, let me get some music playing. Yeah, let me get some La Musica. There we go. All right. Well, this was honestly nice, and we're still live, so I don't think Twitch has any problems with this. So I think this was a successful watch along stream. Yes, I know it was very history oriented, but I'm a history buff, and those videos are honestly pretty easy and lightweight to stream. Shout out to Bill Wirtz and Oversimplified. They do amazing content, and even though they are comedic, they are very informative. So yeah, I'd rather watch something like that instead of something mindless. You know what I mean? But yeah, thank you for coming to the stream. If you enjoyed what you saw, please follow me on Twitch, where I try to stream every other day Pacific Standard Time. Just be sure to keep track of the schedules that I post to X, formerly Twitter, as well as Blue Sky. Also follow me on Blue Sky as well, as I am much more active over there with my posts and updates. And if you're watching this VOD at any point in the future, please like and subscribe to me on YouTube, where I upload all of my VODs, so you never have to miss a single stream. Hopefully this VOD doesn't get claimed. If it does, then I will need to private it. Cause yeah, obviously I don't own the original videos, but yeah, just in case. I'm gonna upload the VOD, but if it gets claimed or anything, or it gets taken. But again, I don't monetize the channel, so I'm not making any money off of it. So hopefully there isn't some kind of dispute. But if there is, I'll just private the VOD. Don't have to worry about it. But yeah, anywho, besides that, next stream will be tomorrow. Tomorrow evening. I'll be playing more DBZ Kakarot, so please look forward to it. Alright, well that's gonna be it for me. Until then, I'm Papa the Survivor, and I will see you when I see you, so see you later. Goodbye, and a happy birthday and anniversary to me. We made it through 3 years of streaming, baby! 3 years, and I can't wait for more.